Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. She is just incredible. So we have a very, very rare and VIP guest all in this room today. We have the great company and movement Zenith. Without further ado, let me introduce our expert straight from the company.
Hello, my name is Jessica Shanklin. I'm the West Coast Sales Manager for Zenith Watches. I'm fortunate to be able to play a part in this brand's 160-year history that we're celebrating this year, and I'm so excited to meet Peter here today and show him a very special creation from our manufacturer in Switzerland.
As you know, we don't have kids, so you're all our kids and family, and we just try to, I don't want to pass with all this knowledge on. It's the greatest joy, so we try to, bring you into an experience and share things together. And Zenith's one of those. It could be a small price point, a medium or big, but the quality of the movement, the fit and finish, it's legendary. As a matter of fact, we have many other legends in the room. One is Val, and she's with the company, and she and Nikki taught me a lot about this movement. And, they may want to throw a few words because, they taught me that, Zenith was in the Daytona, and you'll cover it as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a very famous story that many people in the watch world know, that the El Primero movement came out back in 1969, and it's actually quite an interesting story because it almost didn't make it to today. So Zenith came out with this groundbreaking movement back in 1969, made waves in the press and the industry, and everyone loved it. And then unfortunately, a few years later, something was introduced to the watch industry, and that was quartz. What happened was a lot of Swiss brands were struggling. Actually, 2/3 of the businesses went out of business completely. And Zenith was definitely, not apart from that, and they were struggling too. And then there was this savior that came in, not really a savior for the quick time being,
right.
And that was an American company named Zenith Electronics.
Right.
So Chicago-based electronics company. They came in and had always known about Zenith because of naming issues and trademark issues in the marketplace, and they said, you know what, we're gonna buy Zenith watches, and we're gonna make these new technologically advanced watches that feature this amazing quartz that everyone's talking about. So they came in, told all the watchmakers in Switzerland to get rid of the El Primero, all automatic movements, take it to the junkyard, not even just pause for a little bit, take it to the junkyard. And you have to imagine these watchmakers, this is our whole world, this small town in Switzerland, Malouk. They've been working on these movements. They just spent 7 years alone working to develop the El Primero. And these big bad Americans, giving us a bad name, come in and they say, take it to the junkyard. No one wants this. It's obsolete. And thankfully, there was one man named Charles Vermeau, and he said, I'm going to write this very thoughtful letter and, say, please, you're thinking short-sighted. Things are cyclical. It'll come back. Let's just pause. Let's not get rid of anything. And they said, nope, forget you. To the junkyard. And he said, all right, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. So every night, Zenith has a campus of 18 buildings. It was a huge employer of the town, so a huge manufacturer. And so they started hiding away the parts. Night after night, the tools, night after night, the plans, up into the attic of one of these 18 buildings, and just, did that for months and months because almost millions of components and plans and machinery, and very heavy machinery as well. And he didn't want anyone to know, so he didn't even tell his wife. And so she thought he was having an affair, which is, gut-wrenching for her to think about. But he just believed so much in the El Primero and just couldn't let it, go to the wayside of history. Some time passed, he ended up retiring, and then a few years later, this was in the mid-70s, in the 80s, famous brand that we all know called Rolex heard that the El Primero might be getting launched back into production, or someone wanted to put it into production. And they said, okay, oh geez, is this even possible? Who of the watchmakers used to work on this movement? And they said, let's call Charles. He still lives in the neighborhood of this little town. And luckily he was still alive. Yeah. He was there, and he said, oh my God, I can finally, fess up to this behavior that I took back, many years ago, and reveal this movement that I hid all the necessary components and parts and plans away for in the attic, built a temporary little door, but then left a nice organized little binder with all the instructions and the locations of the necessary parts, so that any watchmaker at any given point in time could come in and revamp and relaunch the movement into production. So
She's so knowledgeable. I mean, see, this is why you got to know when to hold and when to fold. And I am both holding and folding when you have that knowledge. So you fought a lot of people. I don't know how we were able to do it. Tell us more about how they conceived of this and any other backstory on it, because this is rare.
Absolutely. So the story with the Chronomaster Sport Collection, which is what we're going to see today, this launched back in 2021 at Watches and Wonders. And when that launched, that crashed our website many times overnight. Really? We had back orders for years and years. We're finally catching up a little, but it's still our top selling model in the collection. So when this came out, this isn't the Chronomaster Sport itself, an iteration of it. This is the Chronomaster Open.
Nice.
So with the tricolor subdials that we're so famous for, I think you have one in your collection, very similar, the Cohiba.
The
limited
Cohiba
edition.
with cigar. I bought it because it's the colors, of orange, or yellow and black.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful. But this is a classic, Pete. You love it?
Classic. I love it. I love the open heart. I call it the gateway drug to a full skeleton. You can really see the magic. Without having to take off the watch to see through to the case back.
Solid. It's heavy too.
Yeah.
It's got
Stainless steel.
But it's stainless.
And this features the 1/10 of a second movement.
Oh,
so
nice.
Zenith, why the El Primero is so special is because it's operating at a higher frequency than most automatic watches.
36,000?
36,000. So what that means is you can divide down into 1/10 of a second intervals. So that chronograph hand is sweeping much faster than you're used to seeing. You'll only see that on a Zenith because it is patented technology by us.
Really?
So this hand is sweeping one time every 10 seconds.
Right, because this one is much slower than normal standard.
Yep, so that's a 4 hertz, 28,800, which is customary in automatic watches today.
He's got one on. Everybody's showing their stuff today. Ari's got one on.
Of course, this is gonna be our for the DC pieces as well, a 10th of a second movement as well. It comes in the 43, 3 different colors, black, white, and of course the navy blue as well. It has a very beautiful see-through case back. They're beautiful.
Gotta show them the quick change, Aria.
Very simple, very easy, just
Don't
press
blink,
it.
you'll miss it.
Wow.
No, it's very simple.
Yeah.
You get extra straps. You can go with leather straps, a rubber strap as well. In the collection.
What year is this one?
This was what launched last year at Watches and Wonders.
Gorgeous piece. And what is this list for new?
So this is 13,400.
I know for those of you, watching and listening, we take value really seriously. So we don't mean to throw numbers around and act, but for considering prices out there, you're never going to get anything better than a stainless because you're not paying for the precious metal. Hey, the show is yours. You tell us how you want to proceed, please.
Should we do the grand
What do you
reveal?
think? Should we?
Is it
We have
time?
to. Yeah.
I'm just
Alright.
so excited because, I got to believe if I read this in the middle of the night, this has got to be getting a lot of traction,
A lot
right?
of press. It photographs beautifully in videos. The press has loved it and done a great job showcasing it for the world. Super, super limited. We're only apparently producing about 20 pieces globally.
Nuh-uh.
So,
Of that?
of that.
Globally?
Yeah.
20 per year or 20 total?
20 per year.
That's amazingly
Yeah.
small run, everybody. Has like Mark Wahlberg gotten one or somebody else
I
yet?
don't know. There's, I've
'Cause-
heard there might be a big name, but I'm not exactly sure.
Wow. Wow, I'm super excited and honored.
So, are you ready?
Oh yeah, super excited. Thank you.
All right. So we have our beautiful Zenith box here.
What a beautiful box.
Okay. Let the suspense build here.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. She is just incredible. What was your thought when you first saw it?
We haven't done, anything in white gold in a very long time. We've never done white gold in the Chronomaster Sport, and then to just have that
Wow.
absolutely stunning rainbow. The gem setting is, top notch, and the team just created something really special here.
So right now you think in the US there's maybe 2 or 5 of these out?
There's about 2 that we know of. There was one sold right as soon as it launched on the East Coast during
Wow.
Watch Week.
Really?
This is the next one.
Wow. Will this be the the star of your show in Geneva this year?
We have more things coming in
Whoa,
Geneva, if you can believe it.
Are you allowed to tell us what you have coming, or are you going to get fired?
I can't tell you, but I can invite you to come see us in Geneva.
Wow.
'Cause I hear
Okay.
you'll
There
be
you go.
there.
Did you hear that? We
It's
got
on
the invite.
That's on the record. The invitation has been extended.
Oh.
It'll be a pleasure to welcome you and show you firsthand.
Thank you. We would be honored. This is absolutely breathtaking. We're so lucky, but this has got, boy, the weight on this and the presence and the gem setting looks absolutely beautiful. You know, with such a limited run, that open case is just beautiful on the back. This is absolutely a yes, and so honored that, you came out here to show us. Again, this is a, blockbuster Grand Slam home run. The way they did that.
Yeah, they're super talented, the team there. Super passionate. If your time allows, we are hosting some people for special private tours of our Zenith manufacturer.
Oh, I think the time allows,
We'll
right?
make time on the schedule.
I know everybody, just so you know, we're always very transparent. We have a lot of great friends and you teach us a lot, but we're really just average, no, you're not kind of nobody, but we just have a lot of heart. But when people give us an invite, we're yes to everything. I'm an easy yes. We'll get this sized right now and come back and try it, right? Sound good?
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you, team. Thank you so
I'm
much
super
for
happy
coming.
for you.
Now, talking about the nature watches, what is on your neck? It almost seems like a movement of some
I
sort.
thought you'd never ask, Nate. This is my favorite necklace. It actually wasn't a necklace. It's a keychain if you visit the Zenith manufacturer in Lubbock, Switzerland. And it's actually the base plate of the El Primero Chronomaster Open 4061 movement that just so happens to be the base plate of the watch that Peter here has, the Cohiba limited edition from a few years back.
Wow.
Oh my God. So we're super honored. I've switched hats. We have a Zenith hat on. And thank you to the Hyde Park team led by Val. They knew the story about me getting the lovely FP Jorn clock, and I call it the Flavy Flav when I was trying to put it around my neck in
chain,
Geneva. Remember
yeah.
with the chain, because I
remember
didn't
that
have one
story.
and I didn't want to insult. So this is absolutely gorgeous. And then Jessica got us also a lovely bottle of LVMH family champagne, Ruinart, and a beautiful little notebook valise here. So this is fantastic. My family got one of the first Zenith color TVs with the remote, and the remote used to be dunk, 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 dunk. Used to go up, and it had like these Star Trek type phaser rods that came out of it, and it had rabbit ears. So you had 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and UHF. So my dad used to make us get up and go move the rabbit ears because, it didn't get reception. And that Zenith TV's worth a fortune, and the remote is worth a fortune. It's like, I have the remote.
Oh my God.
I have the remote from the family, right? So Zenith really transcends time. Thank you for the lovely gift.
Oh, looks nice action. Look at it with your ring. Extra sparkle.
How does that feel?
Very nice.
Feels I think it feels really good, and I think we can't go any smaller because I bet you it fits perfect on the right too. So I think this is probably the right size. By the way, I will say this: your pink and your ruby colors pop even more because they're not right next on the gradient. It gives a demarcation point with the white diamond. It's amazing how the gems pop a little more. Yeah, the greens are super green. The yellows, of course, beautiful. I'm an orange guy, but your ruby and your pink are especially interesting on here because of that demarcation point on there. So this is going to be just a fantastic piece to wear at the booth.
All right, Peter, let me tell you a little bit more about this watch before I hand it off to you to its new home. The best-selling Chronomaster Sport collection is now in full 18-karat white gold case and bracelet. Features the beautiful tricolor subdials that are so iconic for Zenith since the original El Primeros back in the 60s. You have over 4 carats of sapphires,
Wow.
1 carat of diamonds, and then with the special chronograph, so I'm going to engage it here. This is measuring to 1/10 of a second accuracy. So each of the diamonds on the bezel is 1 second as it hits each of those. So this hand is sweeping 1 time every 10 seconds. You have your running seconds here, your 60-second counter for the chrono here in blue, and then the dark gray is actually a 60-minute counter. And then you can tell how many tenths of a second you have depending on where the chrono hand sits in between each diamond. So right here it looks like it's just about 4/10 of a second. So incredible accuracy, which is what watches are all about after all.
And then also to have a small date window.
That's right. There's a lot in this watch.
Right? And then you showed me something right now to counterbalance. What is that?
So you have Zenith's logo is the 5-pointed star, and you actually have the counterbalance on the 10th of a second chrono hand. You can see it when it hits the light gray background there on the subdial.
That's
So
cool.
it's a fun little detail.
So once again, they hit it out of the park. Let's thank Jessica and the team. Thanks
Yeah,
again.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Peter.
you.
We'll see you in Geneva.
We'll see you in Geneva, my
Come
friend.
see me.
Okay, bonsoir. Au
Thank
revoir.